Is there a space out there where I can express my views? It was also about the whole construction of Europe. Do we have to make a reset? Have we come to the end of the road? Do we need a new concept? It was also about the vision. Have we forgotten the underlying messages and the dreams of the founding fathers of getting rid of nationalism and also to build a more supranational body? And we heard Mrs. Redding talking about the United States of Europe, and that means that actually this discussion is already ongoing, and I think that we need to be into this discussion. They also raised the question of priorities. Have we got the right priorities? Do we do them in the right order? And this is the ongoing discussion, of course, about what do we address first, the economic crisis, or do we go, how do we combine it with the growth, with competition? How do we address unemployment and so forth? It all comes together, I think, and I think it's useful to have this pointed out by representatives who do not represent the European institutions. So I think it's a healthy debate that is going on out there, and we shouldn't shy away from it. I think we should embrace it. I think we should admit where we are going wrong or where we have done wrong. I think we should try to use the negative messages we get and try to turn them into something which is positive. And I think that we should see it as an opportunity, because now there is an opening for a dialogue. Now there is a chance to speak out. Now we make the headlines. We matter, and I think that that is quite important. And this is the positive way of looking at our problems, that for once we are in the headlines and we are on the tongue on every citizen, because there are issues that affect them. Negatively, yes, but there are positive sides, and I think that that is one of our purposes, that we should point at that side as well, that is not forgotten, what we have achieved and what we still develop and offer to the citizens in form of European citizenship. And I think that that is a golden opportunity right now, as we have the European Year of Citizens. This is an opportunity we have now to explain the benefits of European citizenships, the rights we have, the additional rights we have got as European citizens, how we can use them to something positive, how we can still look for the obstacles and address them and do something about them, how we can discuss really about the future, what Europe we want to see by the end of or this decade before 2020. How should the EU be governed? And all this we want to have debated and discussed during this year, and also before European elections, clearly, and also before there will be more official proposals on changes in the treaty, because they will come. And there, as Robert Menas said, that there was no vision anymore, we have forgotten where we are heading. That is not true. I mean, that is his view, and but there is already ongoing discussions on this. You might have seen that we talk about a fiscal union, a financial union, but also heading towards a political union. And our president has also said that this means more integration means that we need also more democracy. And that's why we want to start these debates. And that's why we are happy with the debates that are going on. And we should take part in these debates. The Commission has already given out a blueprint that if you haven't got it, I recommend that we also put it on the intranet, which points out the way forward for the next 2-3 years and ahead, leading up to 2020 and what we need to do. There is also another quite important document that I think that you should look at actually. But it all comes down to using the European Year of Citizens and also to take part in these citizens' dialogues. Mrs. Reding referred to them also yesterday, that she has started these dialogues, but she's not the only one. Obviously, all our commissioners are on board, as well as national parliamentarians and MEPs and governmental representatives, to really get a discussion going on both the crisis and the effects of the crisis, and the rights that we have, the citizenship issues, and the future of Europe. And it has to be a lively debate, because otherwise, where is the legitimacy if we don't know also what citizens are discussing, or what their wishes and where they want to go? So, and this is not a one-off thing that we have these debates. And I would like to thank actually the edicts here, because I know that you have been very much engaged also when we have prepared these citizens' dialogues, both promoting them, but also being active, tweeting before and during and after, and I think that is extremely good. You have helped us to get participants into these dialogues, and I hope that you will continue to do so, and I even hope that you will do more, because some of the proposals that I've heard here is exactly about that you yourself also organize these kind of local debates. Why not? Please do. And give us the feedback from them. We have now also started to put some concrete questions during the dialogues to have something that we can use afterwards. And not just that we have a question and answer session, but really to get some concrete answers, what people want and expect from the Union. And we would like also to, Antonis, I think, will provide you with the same questions that we will send out after Easter, for you also to use when you are out talking, because the more we can collect the views of the citizens, the better, and the more justification we have for what we are going to propose also. So it all comes together. I think also it is another thing that struck me is that in the citizenship report that you know is being prepared now by Vice President Reding, which will come back and propose new actions to get rid of some of the obstacles that citizens still feel and meet in their daily lives. There, one of the results of the online consultation was actually that the front desk officers in the local administrations don't know enough when it comes to the rights in connection with the free movement. And this is maybe also an issue that you could help address, because some of you are hosted in local administrations, and it seems to be a real issue. 1 out of 4 citizens say that is the problem that we have encountered, that they don't know. They cannot help us. So this is, when we talk about informing citizens, it's also maybe our colleagues in the different local administrations. I think it's important also to get out of what I discovered as a 1/3 Europe, a 1/3 society. Am I heard? Because I feel this is losing. Because what we have, what we see from Eurobarometers and other surveys that we do is that it's only 1/3 of Europeans that trust the EU. And it's only 1/3 that feel that they are well informed. And it's only 1/3 who feel that their voice is heard. That means it's 1/3 of the European population, not necessarily the same people, but it shows sort of a society which is divided. We have 1/3 that feels that they're completely out of touch with when it comes to trust, when it comes to information, and when it comes to feeling that you have any sort of influence. And that is a challenge. And I think we should be aware of that. And that's why I also welcome when I hear that you do address the question and you put the difficult question about how to reach the hard-to-reach citizens, those who stay aside and who are not particularly interested or motivated to discuss with us. I also wanted to say that you are, of course, part of a wider network. You are not on your own. You have since some time back a very special link to the Europe Direct Contact Center, which I hope that you use, because that is an opportunity for you to have some support when you get questions that you cannot immediately answer to. But you're also linked to other networks that exist in different areas of consumers or business or whatever. And we are trying to facilitate this more and more, that there is a natural flow of information between the different networks that are present in the region. But we want the edicts to be the front office. We want the edicts to be the first port of call for the citizens, that's where they go. I mean, this, if we remember what Kissinger said, if I want to call Europe, who do I call? This is a little bit the same. If I have a question on Europe, if I want to contact Europe, who do I contact? Well, contact Europe Direct, whether it's the contact center or the information center. That is how we want it to operate. We have talked a lot in the headquarters with the team who is working with you about the no wrong door policy. And that is what we want to achieve, that citizens should feel that they get answers to their questions whoever they contact in the European Union. They shouldn't be sent from one place to the other. We should make it more easy for them to get through and to get the answers that they are asking for. I thought it was interesting also the discussion that took place, which points on the fact that what is happening out there and how we can address it is not just about information. It could be something else also. It could be the wrong priorities or the wrong policies or whatever, and we have to be open and be able to discuss that. It is more about, it's not like before when we informed after about things that have been decided. It's a question now, the challenge is to ask before, to have an engagement and to be relevant, and also to be, which was a key word I heard, to be sincere and to be honest. And we don't, we have nothing to gain with using a language that is not understood or defending issues that are not felt to be absolutely right. So lots of good things has been said. I've got them on different cards here, and I'm glad to see that the way that you see the role of the edicts corresponds 100% to what we also wish from the edicts, to be a bridge between the citizens, to promote dialogue and the debate, to listen, to give feedback to us, to create social networks, to work maybe across, as I've heard that some of you here have come up with, to work collaboratively across edicts, develop common projects. I mean, I know that there are regions where this is ongoing already, These are all excellent ways of working to fulfill the purposes of the edicts. Let me just, as the last session was about the European Parliament and the elections, address a few of the issues that were raised there. First of all, it seems very likely that the dates will be in May and not in June. You have seen probably that the dates 23rd or 25th of May has been mentioned. This has been recommended both by the Council and I think it's been endorsed also by the Parliament, so it's a little bit earlier in 2014 than usual. You asked about material and to get material in time. I had the opportunity to talk to Joanna Laus from the Parliament, and they are very well advanced, more advanced than they were 4 years ago, 5 years ago, because now probably they will have most things in place already before summer. They will not roll out everything too early, because that is also a way to lose attention at the end. But it is clear that the real debates for the elections will start already early February or something like that. And material will be available as of probably after summer, because they want, of course, to phase in and also to use the European Year of Citizens in the second half to seamlessly go over to the elections. They will be more politicized this time. They are preparing a lot to make them more interesting. I heard someone ask for to have it the same date. That is something that has been proposed, but this is up to individual member states. I take it to, for the moment, to decide when it suits. I know that there are those who say we always have it at a certain day of the week or something like that, so there are things to overcome. But it should be more interesting this time, because it is an agreement now that each political party in the Parliament will also nominate their candidate to become the President of the Commission. So already in February, probably, the different political groups will come up with, this is our front runner to become President of the Commission. And that will make the race and the interest a little bit more significant, I think. So that was on the side, but I wanted to take the opportunity in any case to mention it. I hope that this annual General Assembly has given you a lot of inspiration and a lot of energy and a lot of new contacts and new ideas. I hope the new edicts feel well integrated into the network, and that you have found also partners maybe that can help you mentoring. I've heard that exists as well, so I hope that you feel that you are welcome and that you are well integrated already. And I think that if we are not engaged, if we are not convinced on what we are doing, then how on earth are we going to convince others? So the discussion that you have had here has been very interesting, very important, because I've seen also that you have all been engaged in the discussions, and that you are concerned, you are committed, and you want to contribute in the way that you can to raise awareness and to be there also for those of the citizens who wish to engage also with you. So I would like to thank you all for being here for these 2 days. I'm sure we will see each other, most of us again in Sofia. You have seen the dates, the 21st and the 22nd of October. Note them down if you haven't seen that or you haven't done it before. the next time will be a little bit more classic probably, but it will be more interactive, so we will leave more space for you also to discuss among yourselves and to raise the issues that you want to raise with us or with each other. So I'd like to thank you all for having been here. I would also like to thank the correspondents in the representations who are here and who are your nearest and closest support when it comes to different challenges that you face in your daily work. And obviously I would like to thank the now disappearing moderators, Linda and Maria, for having managed and enthusiasts, or whatever the verb is, everyone here during these 2 days. I think you've done a terrific job, and I think you should maybe have a little hand for that also. And I would also like to thank my own team who are spread all around here and who have worked tirelessly also to organize the things for you, that you should feel at ease and that you should go back from here with the feeling of I've been part of something that has made me feel even more motivated and equipped also to go back to the realities back home. And lastly, the interpreters, as always, that are in place most of the time. And I think that with that, I will simply wish you a good trip back. I know the program is not completely over for most of you, and I heard to my great joy that some of you will visit the Europe Direct Contact Center, which is also with us. And I really like to hear that you do that, because this is a very good partner for you and is member also of the same network. So thank you very much and have a safe trip back.
Thank you so much. Just needing to give you a little bit of